Hi, and welcome to the 6th unit in Wildlife of North America. And this week it's the carnivores, the order Carnivora. There are 9 families of carnivores: the felids, the cats, the canids, dogs, the earless seals, the fur seals and sea lions, and the walruses. These are pinnipeds. They're in a subfamily, the Pinnopedia. And then the mustelids, which are like weasels, badgers, otters, wolverines. Mink go in here. The Mephididae, which are the skunks. Skunks used to be in with the mustelids, but they decided they were significantly different genetically, so they put them separately. The procyonids, which are the ring-tailed cats. They're called cats, but they're not really cats. Raccoons and coatis. Raccoons we're mostly familiar with, I'm sure. Lastly, the ursids, the bears. In the content, this is where this video introduction will go. I have also the outline for this introduction, and I'm not going to go through the whole outline because you certainly can do that. These are so-called meat eaters, but they are not strictly meat eaters. Many of them also will eat berries, plants, other things. But they are primarily adapted for carnivory, including what are called carnseal teeth, I think that's how you pronounce it, which are these essentially premolars. There's the canine tooth, and there's a gap of varying largeness or smallness, and then there are these teeth before the molars that are adapted for shearing and for tearing food. So that's the most main thing. These are basically the premolars to the molars, or the first lower premolar is counted in it. Here is a polar bear skull, so you can see that, canines and the gap, and then the carnseal teeth right here. Also, they have massive skulls, big areas for attachment of muscles. They have very strong jaws in order to eat and tear their prey. They have claws that are very well developed. In the cats, they're retractable, which apparently helps keep them sharp, but also protects their same species and their offspring from injury. And then they have a bunch of other characteristics. They are not all huge. Some are quite small, like the least weasel is very small. Most have an osbaculum or penis bone. In many, ovulation is induced by sexual intercourse, so that the penis bone may prolong copulation. Some have very highly developed social behavior, often associated with hunting, like the wolves. Also, it can be associated with communal infant care and to reduce predation as well as defend territories. Most are terrestrial, but some are primarily to secondarily aquatic. All of them have to go on land in order to have and raise their young. Their young are mostly altricial. They're mostly undeveloped when they are born, with a very long developmental period, often a very long learning period, especially those that hunt actively. And as I said, there are 9 families and 53 species in North America. The chapters in the content guide go through these with, as usual, pictures of them and their key characteristics. There is a quiz that is associated with Unit 5. Actually, the questions are from Unit 4 and Unit 5, and that's Quiz 4A and 4B that are available this Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. There is a quiz on carnivores that is available at the end of this week, December 6th through the 8th. And this week, Saturday, you have a short paper due based upon 2 papers which you are assigned to read for this. If you see the learning guide here, here are the directions for the short paper, and here are the papers. And even though they're embedded here, you can download them. Oop, if you click on this download. And I didn't really want to do that, so I'm going to cancel it. But that these are the 2 papers that your answer, that your summary should be based upon. You're basically summarizing what happened ecologically when they introduced gray wolves back into Yellowstone National Park. It's a very short paper, but it should be very clear. And while we're here, I'm going to take a look at the last unit, which is your final exam and paper. Your final exam is in 2 parts. Each one is worth 50 points. You may take it only once, so you don't have a second try at this one. And you have 45 minutes to complete it. It is available for 48 hours. It is available starting at the beginning of the day on Thursday, December 10th, and it is due Friday night. So it is 48 hours. This course ends on December 11th. It does not go into what normally is finals week. Your assignment, or your paper, is to choose a carnivore. And here's the list of carnivores, and I think 2 of them, someone has chosen wolverine already and coyote, but the rest of these are listed, are available. And you are to examine the life history of that animal, relating it to man. In other words, what effect have humans had on this animal in its survival? And what effect has it had on humans? And these are the guidelines for the paper, and you are to turn it in I can show you the turn it in icon. And turn it in checks your paper from against students' papers and the web published sources of information, and tells you what percentage of it is considered to have been copied from other places. So this is what you look at when you get your report. So you put it in within 24 hours, usually only a couple of hours, you get a report back that you can look at. And then you can adjust your paper. You can edit your paper and get rid of those parts that are considered plagiarism. And then you can turn it in again. So you're able to turn it in more than once. The paper is due, actually, I made it due, I think, on the 12th. Here's the final paper. I don't know what it says here. This has to be readjusted, but I believe it's Saturday the 12th. This due date here I have to change, but it is due the 12th. So I'm giving you basically an extra day if you need it. Hopefully you won't need it because you're going to be getting ready for finals in your other classes. I need to put a thing here for questions. If you have any questions, you can send to me. All right? I've really enjoyed your hard work in the class. I look forward to seeing your short paper on Yellowstone National Park and what happened ecologically with the effects of introducing wolves that have been gone for over half a century. And I also look forward to your final projects. So you could choose a carnivore anytime. Okay, and that's in the final, in the 7th. You have to choose a carnivore, but you can do that now. All right, I'll shut up. Good luck. Let me know if you have any questions.